Welcome to our Thursday night crop. My name is Denise Cowell, and I'm a Creative Memories Advisor in Ormond Beach, Florida. And it is Thursday, August 28th. And thanks for joining me tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about Peekaboo Pockets, brochure, sorry, what are they? Oh, yeah, brochure pockets, how to use them. I'm going to show you some examples about how I've used them in my book. And of course, there's way more than what I've done, but I want to show you first because I don't have all of these in stock. So if we look at the Peekaboo Pockets, you'll see in my albums I have 4x6. We're going to do some 6x12s as well as doing a cascade page, which Lanita had done and at one of the virtual crops a couple months ago. There's 3x4s, there's 4x4s, and 5x7s. And then sometimes I have some other ones, 2x3s that have come up as specials during the year that I've gotten. We're going to talk about brochure pockets and how to use those. I have one of those in my albums and I'll show you. They're a little bit different than Peekaboo Pockets. And then other things that you might use when you are using Peekaboo Pockets are photo corners. And I have those in my books that I'll show you too. So we're going to go to my desktop. And we're going to, first of all, just look at one of my albums. And I'm going to show you, I've got two albums here actually, because I'm going to show you some different ways I've used them in this first album. And then in the second album, I've saved some so we can do them together. And I need a little bit more room, so I'll move these. These are how I keep them. So in this album, I'm just going to flip through. You're going to see there's Peekaboo Pockets like almost on every page. There's a 4x4. Here's two 4x6s. Here's one here. And we're going to talk about what you can use for these tabs. You're going to see different things I've used for tabs. I've just cut with a punch and I've cut it in half. Same thing on this one. This one kind of opens up as a little book using two 6x12s. You can see I've got a lot of different peekaboos in this album. And some of them I have little tabs on, some I haven't. I kind of let people look at them, and if they kind of miss something, then I know I need to go back. Sometimes I kind of feel to see, oh, wait, there's one here, right? Because I know what I'm looking for, you know. But if you can't see them, then sometimes I'll add a tab. This one just has one. And you'll see how I've done the design, whereas this design is going right across the two pages. But when you open this up, I've still kind of made them blend. Oh, sorry, that didn't work. Blend together, but not quite the same design, right? So sometimes so this is a pocket page. So instead of using Peekaboo Pockets, or I didn't know about the Cascade at that time, this is just a pocket page that has like to hold 3 verticals and three horizontal, 2 vertical. So I got 10 pictures on that one page. So I've used these a few times in here. Let's just go through. There's some other things I want to show you in this book. Oh, so this one here, you can see I've used stickers from that package, and I've used one on each side. It says photo op, so I use that to kind of show you. And then this is an accordion that I did, right? So there are 8 pictures in this accordion. I'm going to move it over, right? So that you can see like both sides. So I was able to get like All of Us by Pisa, and then it just kind of folds up into a little accordion. And those are 4x6s. And the good thing with Peekaboo Pockets is that you can attach them and take them off multiple times. And then you can re-stick them. Sometimes if I come back to my pages, especially as I use top loading, and it'll be off, and I'll go like, why am I so far off? And it's just the page came loose, right? So just make sure you push it back. This one here I wanted to talk about because this isn't in a Peekaboo Pocket. I actually sliced in to the top loading page because I wanted to be able to see this postcard that I bought. So think about things like that you can use, right? And there's another one. There's a few more. I think there's something else I wanted. Oh, so this page has a different kind of book view. They open from the sides, right? And those have little tabs on them to show you. And then I have a couple more. And here I used a 2x3. I had this little museum pass I wanted to use, and I didn't know where to put it, but it kind of fits in there perfect that I can put them out. And again, that's not a regular size that's available, but watch for when some of those, you know, specials come out during the year. So again, multiple. So here you probably won't even see this because I don't even see it up close. This is where I have used clear photo corners. So I don't have them through my whole book. What I do is I go through my book and I see where when I turn my page or my, like where it's flapping, see how it's flapping, and I don't like it flapping like that. So I have a little photo corner there, but people don't put them back in, right? This one here actually opens up 3 ways again. So I have 2 Peekaboo pockets being able to hold 5 pictures. This one again, I've got these 2 as 4x6s opening this way. Same with these, and I kind of hid pictures under here that I didn't want, you know, if didn't want people to kind of see, because maybe the kids don't want to see that. But so as you see, there's lots of different ways to be able to use your Peekaboo. There's another just pocket page that holds 10 photos. This one here again is something that, you know, it built the one and had it matching, have it matching on the side. This one was really cool because there was actually a photographer on this cruise that could actually take the pictures and posted them on the Facebook group. So we have some really cool pictures. But what else is in this one that's different? I think that might be it. Again, just lots. You can see lots of extra Peekaboo pockets in here, right? So I've used 4x4s, 2x3s, 4x6s, 6x12s. I've made accordions. I've used the photos. And my next album, let me get that one out. A few different things in here, and then we're going to start kind of finishing putting some in this book. So this is book 2 of that. So it's not quite done yet. So this one I don't have attached yet. I wanted to do it together because sometimes, I'm just trying to get the glare, see if I can get the glare off of, oh, now it's too dark. Maybe, let's just give it a second, see if that will cut back in. Is that too dark or is that better without the glare? Okay, so let's do that. So it's just, it seems dark here. So when you're getting this tape off, right? So it's pre-stuck. A lot of people go, oh, what kind of tape am I supposed to use? You don't need to use tape. It's pre-stuck. So the side that has the pocket, if you open that up and have the pocket at the back, so I've got the pocket back here, this is where the tape is. So when you take it off, it's very sticky and it'll just stick to you and it'll stick to everything. It'll be all over the house. And all you need to do is just stick it down, try to line it up. Oh, and see, that's crooked, and that's okay. I can pull it up. Easy. You can pull it up. I can go back to other ones and pull them up, and that's still crooked. I'm going cockeyed when I do that because I need to stand up. Right, so I try to line it up, especially if I have something behind. Sometimes I'll line it up this way because this one has a mat on the back, and then you can just line it up, right? So that's easy to do. This is a brochure pocket. So the difference with the brochure pockets is, and I wanted to get some of those out here. I have some old ones. Let me just find these ones. So as you saw, there's different sizes. These are older sizes. But what this is, it is the whole entire back of this. This is all tape. Like this is all glue on the back. Whereas as you saw when we did the Peekaboo pockets, let me just get one out. I keep mine in this little 5x7 case and I've got them all labeled. And look, there's a top. So I'll just get one of these little guys here. So here, right, it's only tape across the top and you open and close them, where this is tape on the entire back. So you could put this on top of your page if you want. As you see, I have mine under my page at the top, so you can get it at the top. and I just have it in a pocket inside here. And I wish I would have put it further, but once you stick these, you're not moving them, right? Because the whole back of it is glue. And there are, let me just go back because I think there's 3 sizes. I only have 2. So there is a 12 by 5, which I have in here, a 12 by 5, so that'll go down like the whole side. There's a 6 by 8, which is not even that one. And then there's a smaller one. What size is in here? 5 by 7s. Okay, and that they're not in this package, but there is a package that has all 3 sizes. So again, so if you're using top loading pages, you could put it in at the top. If you were using a page and a page protector, right, you can't do that. So you would put it on the front of your page, right? You can put it up here and be able to pull it out. Where, right, it's not like I can open up like a Peekaboo Pocket and see what's underneath. It's to hold something and to hold it safely away from your pictures. So that's kind of what the brochure pockets are. This is a mini Cascade page. So the one I'm going to show you is actually going to be using 6 by 12 Peekaboo Pockets, whereas this one only has 1, 2, 3. Right? That's how many pages. So you can use Peekaboo Pockets however many you wanted. So I had actually done the below page for a virtual crop, and then I figured, you know, this is like an extra, you know, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13 pictures. I didn't want to do another page, so I tried this Cascade. So I did mine a little different, and this is my own preference, is I don't like seeing the picture from the below, like when you flip it, and we'll try. I don't like seeing the picture, so I don't like seeing this picture and this part of this picture and this part of this picture. So I kind of made a border on one of them, right? So that's how you flip this. This one I did a little turn thing, and then I have my last page. And even when I turn them this way, I don't see the pictures from the other page. And if you go to YouTube and you watch other people's, they have pictures. It's just your preference on how you want your page to look. Right, so we're going to make a Cascade page. We're going to talk about that more. Another thing I wanted to show you in this one is, and we have a couple here, right? So your Peekaboo Pockets, the 4 by 6s, you can see that they have tape on the long side, right? So I have mine going horizontally, but I also have tape on the long side and it's opening vertically, right? And so is this one. I'll just have that there. But let's see if we can find some. And I end up using more of those because that's how I end up opening them. But there should be a couple more in here I want to show. So this one. So this has the tape on the long side, on the short side. So you could put that again here at the top, right? And open it this way. Or you could have it for this picture and open this way. And right, and I had some of those. So always have it underneath. Except we can talk about differences when you're doing them in regular pages. So these are the other. So if you're doing them in, I just want to get these ones out. These are the ones I want to talk about. So everything that I have is in a top loading page. So what if you were using a regular page and page protector? And say you had, let me just get a piece of paper. Oh, that's not a full sheet. That's not going to work. Let me just, not that I don't have a lot of paper here, but I don't want to mess something up. So say you had this page here, right? And that you had the whole page. What I could do is I could actually slip this underneath here. Right? And then I would put my page protector over top. So this would be on top, but this would all be hidden underneath. Right? Does that make sense? Yep. We're good. Yep. So this way, whereas mine all have to go up on top. There's nowhere for me to hide them. You could put them in on this side and have it underneath the paper. So before you attach the paper, then I would just slip on my page protector after, and then I would have that, and it would be, and then there, you wouldn't see the seams. You can sometimes see the little seam where it's stuck down, but if you're using regular pages, you don't have to have them all on the top. You still can. There's nothing saying you can't, and that's how we're going to build the Cascade page. But if you can do them on the sides of a regular scrapbook page, then you can do that. So these ones are only, these are not 4x6s. So these are the 4x5.5s, right, that come. And we don't have 4x5.5. So what I have is I have a fuse tool. You can just get this on Amazon, and it's a fuse tool, and it heats up, and it has like a little rotary blade. And then once it heats up, I don't even know if you can see the seam here. So I actually just, it heated it up, it kind of glued it together, and then I just trimmed off the extra quarter inch. So two ways I could have done this. I could have mounted this on a 4x6 mat, which I've done. I probably did that in some of the other ones. I'm going to look quickly. Or, as in here, I just made the Peekaboo Pocket smaller. Which you can do also. I'm just seeing if I have any mounted on paper. As I go through my album, we'll kind of look. So again, so I made both of these smaller. The photos that are on this page are the 4x5.5. So now I'll be able to just attach those. And see here I have the short edge that's going to open up that way. And I have the long edge that's going to come up that way. And I use the fuse tool to make those smaller. And there are other tools out there that you could use to do. This isn't inexpensive. It's under $20. And that's this way you can change the size of your Peekaboo Pockets. I just want to see if there's anything else I wanted to talk. So this one here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it 3, right? So I'm going to take the tape off of this one. Sometimes it's going really well right now. It does not always come off that easy. Sometimes you're pulling it and trying to find it. Which one did I want on the top? I want this one on the top. So I might have to move this, but it takes time. I'm not going to get them perfect right now. And again, like I said, you can pull them off, but I'm going to make a little 3 opening here. And I actually have ones where they open both ways. See, this just sticks. This just sticks to everything. The static. Right, so it's not closing. This one has to move out. And this is why. You just pull it off, move it. And actually, this one has to go further. So again, you can start over with them. Don't worry. You can move them. Now, if you had them attached to paper, that would be different. But if you have it attached to a top loading page, or you have it attached to a page protector, then there we go. Okay, this one's a little crooked, but I'll fix that offline. I mean, you can play with them forever. And then like I said, I go and I go, why does this look out? I just spent so much time. So I also don't like seeing this little tiny white piece of paper from the back of it. And maybe you don't see that. So what I normally try to do is I just put a little bit of repo so that I can get them perfectly lined up. So there's no white showing. And there. Just the one thing to note, so there's like a 3 open one, right? When you are putting your pictures in, these are all fine. Or it's going to open up this way. Make sure you don't have it upside down, right? This one's opening out, so it's okay. So I always have to think about where I'm doing. Again, you can always move them. Some of these I have not put some repo on the back yet. And see, so this one I might end up putting a little corner because I don't like when they open when I move them. This one does have a little tab here at the bottom, and there's a top one that I have a top opening. But when people look at your albums, they don't put them back in the little tabs, I find. So Was there anything else in this one I wanted to show you before we got to the Cascade? Is there any questions about anything we've talked about so far? So before we make the Cascade page, let's talk about making the tabs for your page. So you saw in a couple of my albums, I either used stickers or I used I used a punch, right? And I've cut it in half. This one I cut in half. If you just do a circle, Creative Memories did have the little tabs if you got them with the school day collection. Also the tab punch, which I know was just last chance, so I hope you got one because I use this quite a bit for the tab punches. I've also used, like we saw that these ones here that say photo op that I use, so little stickers. And and to stick them down, that's where you're going to use the not oh yeah, this one does. I use, these are not Creative Memories, but any type of photo corner. So I've got transparent ones, so you can't see them because I can't even see them. And like I said, when people look at your album, they pull it out because it's not opening, but you might have to go back later and slip them back in. I just don't like when you flip a page and they all flip open. See, this is just a small punch that I use, and this way I can put one on each side. Let me see if this side are the same. Right, I could use one on each side. Oh, it's still not in frame. There we go. Right, and I just stick them together. You know, you can just say lift here. Some of them in another book I have like lift here so people know to lift. Because otherwise people don't know that there's pictures hidden behind there, right? So all types of things. Use your photo corners to stick them down. Use the tab punch. There's little, this is a Creative Memories tab sticker, right? You could use a punch. What I'm gonna, there's this one I have out from Mountain Scenes. Here, I have Mountain Scenes right here. Any of these little stickers in here where there's a lot of, right, you could be using these to and put them back to back, and then you have a sticker on each side that are the same. I mean, you could even use these, anything where they're the same size, these little acorns, you could put those, and those could be your little flaps to turn your page. So let me just clean this up, and I'm going to bring out and we're going to look at a Cascade page. Okay, so let's talk about cascading pages. And again, this one's not completed. I have things cut. So this would be using, you would need your, well, if you're, two things. If you are using a regular 12 by 12 page with a page protector, you are going to need that base page, right? So you're going to need a base page because you're going to start with the base. You're going to start a little bit different whether you're using the regular 12 by 12 page with the page protector or whether you're using a top loading page. So if you're using a top loading page, you'll just have your page loaded inside, right? So we'll just say that this is it. So you're going to have your page inside. So let's start with this one and we'll come back to the page with the page protector. Now, depending on how many Peekaboo pockets you're going to use is how far they're going to be put apart. And you don't have to do like I have here. I kind of like this because just think about using this page and cutting this at 6 and then being able to see this whole page across here. And then you still have room to open this up and have, you know, either 3 or 2, you know, 3 or 2, like how many pages? So this is, if we do 5, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, like 30 pictures at least you could do on here. So how you could do this is determine how many pictures you have and how many you want to use. And like I said, you don't need to have this little border. I've seen people, because if you want to do 4 by 6s, your pictures are going to overhang here, right? I should have some 4 by 6, right? So if you had a 4 by 6 picture, you're going to be covering that border. And people do that. They just put 3 4 by 6s everywhere. But on this side, you could actually keep your little border if you wanted that. And I've seen it both ways. So what the first one you're going to do is you need a 6 by 12 cardstock for each, right? So you need 1, 2, 3 sheets of cardstock. And because I'm using designer paper here, I didn't use that piece. So what you start doing is you start lining these up. And I have these ones at 1 1/4 inches, right? So your very first one would be lined up here. And I'll show you how to do that. So we're going to put this sideways. And your very first page will line up at the end. And I really don't want to take the tape off. Okay, so we're going to open that. Your next one is going to be at 1 1/4 inch. So you can do one of two things. I've actually made a template where I've gone 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 3 3/4, 5, 6 1/4. My problem is, and this is someone else's template, when I line this up at 6 1/4, I go off the page. So and if I take this one, and it depends where you line this up. So if I fold it, and I take the folded edge, so I'm 1/4 inch over, then I'm good at the edge of my page protector. But what will happen is I will not be good here. So you kind of have to, I would even recommend making your own, because I'm just lining these all up according to this. And right now my tab, I've got it folded over, and I'm actually on top of that. But here then, oops, that one's upside down. I may not even have the right pattern. Oh, well, that one doesn't go there. It's my end one. Right, so I would kind of line them up, and I actually made a different template. So if I line it up there, and I line this one up at 1 1/4, this one at 2 1/2, 3. This last one is a little bit extra. So I found, and the person that I was following was actually doing this with a regular page. I found that it was better if I was using 1 1/8 inch. Let me turn this over, because if I used 1 1/8 inch, and so what I'm doing here, if I line this up, and I line up, I fold over the edge, and now what I'm doing is lining it up and matching it to that. So let's start backwards. And now I've lost my pattern, but that's okay. So I am lining these, I have them folded over, and I'm lining them up at my 1 1/8 inch marks. And if I do that for a top loading page, I am right on, right? So what my mistake was is so when you cut this 6 inches, then you have 6 inches left. So this is 5, and I cut these at 1 1/8. I should have cut them at 1 3/16 because I had this little bit left over. Then they would have lined up perfectly if I would have cut these a little bit bigger, right? So I found when I was doing a top loading, it was better for me to make my mark. So now I have a template, and I can use this template for any pages that I use. And instead of having to line it up and line up and go like 1 1/8, 1 1/8, I actually drew lines at 1 1/8 through here, right? The last one ended at 5 3/4 basically, so that the last page would come in, because these are a little bit bigger. Okay, so that's kind of how to do it. Now, say you only wanted to use 4 pages, right? So then you would do them, you could do them a little bit further apart, right? So you kind of make your own template so that they're all the same. And again, you don't have to have the pattern on the front. If you go to the virtual crop group, you'll see people that have the patterns on the front. But say you only wanted to do 4 peekaboos, right? So you can see here, I have them at probably like at 0, at 2, at 4, and at 6, right? To have them the same distance. Or what I did with my other one is I had them all lined up at this side of the page. And I know it's kind of hard. Maybe I need to turn them back over. So when I line them up here, because then I line them up and I only had 4, right? And then I still had pictures over there, or I actually only had 3. And then you could still have pictures here. You could still have pictures here. Here's my page because I have it turned. Right? So this way, I mean, templates work, but again, it's going to be different when you're doing it here. There's a little bit more room on these, I think. And she may have gone over to over the jeeping when she was using the 1 1/4, because if you line this up at 6 1/4, it's going off the page, but it will be lined up with the jeeping. So that's why it's different for top loading, that I found. Other people may make it work, kind of make it work for you, but I found if you're using a regular page, you do have that a little bit extra space if you're going to go up to the jeeping. But because I use top loading. So if that's confusing, why don't we do one? We'll do one together. I'm going to take out all these little bits here. I'm still going to use the blue paper, but I'm going to take out all these pieces, and we're going to do this mountain paper, because I actually do like when there is that pattern across the top. And again, you can still put pictures on there, right? It's just that there's no overlap from the picture below. So let me see if I have. So there's my first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I'm missing one. I'll find it. Okay, so let's do this one together and see if it makes sense, and I will attach them all, and I'll still use the blue. So I need my cutting, and I need to make these a little bit bigger than 1 1/8. So we're going to cut the 6-inch piece. Okay, so we're going to cut the 6, and then I am going to cut each one at 1 3/16. And I need to start from this side. So I'm going to turn this over. So 1, and these are 8ths, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many do these count? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I can go 1 3/16, which is one little tick below. So, and I need 5 of them. So 1, 2, 3, and I need to keep them in order. And hopefully I'm good. 1 3/16. 4. And the last one, this is, oh, we're so close. I'm going to leave this last one, and we're going to see what's going to happen. So I'm going to turn them the right way so I have my picture going the right way so that we can build this. Okay, so let's do this. I am going to use my top loading page and my sample. And again, don't forget, this moves too, right? You've got some leeway in here. So depends where you want to be lined up to. So I'm going to get it lined up to the top. I'm going to do it this way. It's only going to just to be easier for me. Oh, there's my other one to get it. So I'm going to get just one, and I'm going to put in my first page. Okay, now I'm not going to take them all off because these ones, by the time you find it, but we will do most of them. I'll do them, stick them on. Okay, so I need to stand. I'm going to line this up straight. This first one I'm going to line up to the end of my page. Hopefully I don't stand. And let's just line that up. And again, I can move it if I need to. Okay, and it's crooked. And that's why we're not going to do this all on camera, because I could be doing this 20 times like I normally do. I'm just going to get it as best I can. Okay, so there's our first one. So I already have my cardstock in all my other ones, right? So let's build these from the back. So we're going to take my next one, you know, I have my pictures on the back here. You know, I have whatever pictures I have. I can have a picture on there or label. I'm going to set this one up. I would attach that. I have my pictures here. So this is all built with my pictures. I will open this up and I'm going to line this one up there. Take off that sticker and I will do that. So let's do that to all of these. And I'm going to use this one actually for my Arizona book. I figured this will be good. And I know there's no snow on the mountains, but we're still going to use this. And so the third one will go here because I've already got my lines, so it's easier for me to have my lines, right? And these ones are at 1 1/8. And if you go back and watch Lanita's, she's actually using the mat and just looking at each side, and she's moving her paper up to 1 1/4 all the time. Whereas if you have a template like this and just keep it, then, and you wouldn't be doing this, right? You would be building each one of these, putting your pictures on, having your borders there, and then you would just be attaching them. So this next one goes there. And again, if you can't see my marks, I'll open it. I see where I've got them lined up. I can kind of go like this so you can see where I'm lining them up to each line here. So we have, which one's next? This one. And the last one's a little bit bigger, and I think that'll be fine, right? I didn't cut that last one down, but I like the 1 3/16 better than the 1 1/8 that I cut them the first time. So this one will go here. And again, they won't be offset. I'm just offsetting them so that you can see them on camera, and then I'll push them back. And then the last one, and this again is if you want to be using 6. If you don't need to be using 6, you can cut them down as much as you want. And again, the other thing is you don't need to be putting these borders on, right? But I think that will look really cool. It'll be like that. So I still have that whole page, and then when you flip this, right, you've got 5 or 6 pictures and another one, you know, and you would just flip these. And I wouldn't have this white paper. I would actually have a background paper on there, right? So let's go back and look at this one I have that only has 3. We'll quickly look at that, and then we will go for any questions and wrap up. And I hope that wasn't too confusing. So here, right, I've actually started probably at the 5-inch. Let me move that up. Probably at the 5-inch I've started here. So I still had room for here for designs, and I have 1, 2, 3 Peekaboo pockets. So I have, you know, my regular page. So then I have an extra 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then these 2. And again, so I don't have my pictures overlapping, if that made sense. And it's okay. I've seen people that will have all their pictures that come out, and you'll see the little bit of the picture below. And if your pictures run together like that, sometimes it looks really cool to do that, right? I just I didn't want that in mind. If you know, do you, and whatever works for you. But if you go on the virtual crop, I think somebody has a really cool one that has an American flag that's cut like this. So that is a way. And there's a way for you to use those papers that you never thought you were going to use and you didn't know what to do with, right? So hope that helps. Are there any questions? Okay, so if you have any questions, just shoot me a text, DM me. I'll try to help. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing, but that was everything. Maybe you wanted to know about Peekaboo Pockets, and maybe too much, but thanks for joining me. Happy scrapping. See you all again soon. Bye for now.